Hello to the people who are watching. I appreciate that you're watching. It's always good to have confirmation that you're not just shouting into the void. I've just killed a guy.
It's locked, all right.
Shut up, Jonathan. Yeah! Just gonna have a look round. See if there's anything worth stealing. No. Very ominous as a gothic game, but I don't feel like it needs to you know, play that kind of music when I've just gone ground floor. How do I know that he's at that theatre? I've got nothing to go off of. Although to be fair, I should have listened.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I think you're anemic.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
My condition cannot be understood by you, mortal. This curse is beyond your science.
I will come and check on you later.
Goodbye.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I think I should turn her. Like, I feel like she really wants it. What's that say? Hospital full. Tell me where I've got to go. I honestly feel like they should have, you know, done this after they'd invented the tube. Like, they could have set this anywhere, anytime. Hang on a minute. He just took that off me. What a dick. I don't even know how to get it back. rat.
This is despicable.
Moan about it.
Stop! Right now! Sir. It ain't human! Get
Well,
it!
you don't know that. I've literally just seen a man come at you in the night. I hardly look like a dog. If I became undead, I would be looting so many corpses. What's down here? This looks cool, doesn't it? Oh, lovely bin. Let's have a look in.
Elite! Elite!
Eat your
Crush the leech! Over there! There's one of them!
I bet I'd be able to get in the fucking front here.
So Priwen never left Doris's theatre after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
And importantly, there's lots of stuff for me to be able to steal, so I'm excited. Right, come on then. Let's steal everything in sight. Sappho. That's a lesbian play, that isn't it? That is. Like, I'm surprised that that's like in there. Good on them. For being inclusive.
It's one of them! That leech is fast!
is what happens when you don't support the arts.
I have this thirst for blood.
Shut up.
Over there! There's one of them vermin! Ah!
I need to gather information about his work. Doris Fletcher's diary. This is saucy, innit? Soon I'll be on the stage again. Oh, she must have been having to deal with Tier 4 restrictions. My minions are gathered round me, ready to follow my every command. Soon my audience will return, ready to applaud my art. The young, the gorgeous, my healthy audience, they'll return to their families, their beautiful houses and happy lives, delighted by my performance, shocked by my disguise, touched by my grace and infectious legacy. They'll spread the disease one by one, and they'll turn. I'll be a beloved queen again, and they'll never forget me, and I shall have my revenge on the dirty trick fate played on me. I'm going to see if Sappho is a good play. It's a tragedy by Austrian playwright Franz Grillparzer. On the tradition of Sappho, poet of ancient Greece, originated free herself from high lesbian cliffs, that's cliffs in Lesbos, rather than LGBT geography, into the sea. When she found that her love for the youth Phaon was unrequited, and that he preferred her maid named Melita in the play to her. I'm not sure that is gonna, like, I wouldn't go see that. That sounds rubbish. I've got this thing, I don't really like watching stuff with a sad ending, so I definitely, it's good to know that I'd have been safe from turning into a vampire from watching a play.
Smells like rotten meat. One's near. I know it.
Codeine. Jonathan's gonna have a great time with that.
No rest for the wicked!
Right, let's do this. This was well hard the last time. I was getting flashbacks.
Bastard! I cannot dare!
If it turns out that one of these people have got an arm for a face, I will be pissed off to deal with that again. Where would it be then? Right, well, there's obviously one still in here, isn't there? Because he's basically fucking announcing himself to the world.
It's locked, all right.
Not a very good stage exit then, is it? Shouldn't be locked. The man who was dead. That a sign of is that a sign of the like a vampire thing, or is it just that they're going to have a bunch of shit comedians on?
Over there! There's one of them.
Couldn't do that again because I'm going to turn that into a video clip. The man who was dead. Is that supposed to be like an allegory for vampires, or is it just that they're going to have a bunch of shit comedians on an open mic? Still one in here.
Remember your vows, friends.
This is despicable. It's locked.
Shut up, John.
Be strong, brother.
I was hoping that was going to be it. Obviously not. Right, McCullum's report. This looks right. I just finished reading Doris Fletcher's journal, as painful and dreadful as it was. He is a right little dick, innit? I never said that about her diary. My God, the woman planned to see everyone in London afflicted. Well, again, she should have picked a better play. By infecting all those who would come to her next play. I hope not many, because it doesn't sound like a good play. I've got a little review of it here, I think, from the time from 1920. So yeah, so this would have been quite recent. Grill Parser has made a strong, stirring drama with an acting quality strong enough to carry it to success on stage when well performed. At the same time, he has developed a poetic symbolism in the story, and a conflict between spiritually gifted Sappho and beautiful Melita becomes, in Grill Parser's hands, the conflict between art and the pleasures of life. Much like my streams. Although the verse has neither the dignity nor the sheer beauty of some of Grill Parser's later works, it has cumulative quality which often accompanies verse written in long stretches in a single sitting, a quality which does not detract from its distinctly dramatic value, though the dignity and success of his early dramas forged a link that bound the drama of Austria. Well, that doesn't sound like a play that I feel like people are going to be, like, you know, buzzing to go see. Oh, you're going to go see the new depressing play? Yeah. Right, let's see what else he's written. It helped me understand greatly what is going on. Doris Fletcher's real name was Doris Jones. I know a load of people who changed the name from Jones to something else. No, in fact, I know people who changed it to Jones, as if like Jones was like an exciting name. She was the daughter of some Harriet Jones who has been treated as a patient. Oh, that's that horrible bitch who was horrible to me earlier. Treated as a patient for a long time at Pembroke Hospital. She clearly hated her mother, but used her fame and notoriety to see her while visiting the poor and sick in the East End. I don't know exactly what happened to them then, but this is how her mother infected her before returning to the theatre, and how she turned into that monstrosity that the leech was known as Jonathan Reed finally defeated. Well, this is awkward that Jonathan's reading it, innit? The presence of that vampire in the same hospital where Harriet Jones was treated can't be a coincidence. I am convinced he is deeply involved with the vampire plague going on in London right now. I am convinced Swansea is his accomplice, and that those two are planning something more terrifying than anything the Guard has ever faced. Maybe I should take some time to read the old books and manuscripts the Guard still possess to get some answers. It may prove useful. In the meantime, I better send some patrols to investigate what's occurring at the Pembroke Hospital. He sounds like a student. You know, when students don't like do their research properly, and they're like, at the end they're like, shit, I need to sort out my bibliography. Right, what else has he done? Right, it took me 2 days to pass through the dusty registers and books we keep in the vault. God, I hate losing time like this. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a student. The search did prove fruitful. For once, I found 2 pages that could be related to the present situation in a copy of William Marshall's memoirs. I took them with me to read more carefully. This creature Marshall says he fought in 1666. This disease that aimed to destroy London, it is very similar to what happened with Doris Fletcher. Disease, infection, hate of living, hands, face, space. A desire to keep the city ransacked. I have no doubt now that the bloody old leech William Marshall is behind this, and that he is back. This could be our great accomplishment if the Guard could at last find and destroy that old bastard. Why did he need to swear? There's no need for him to swear. I believe what Marshall did in 1666 is exactly what Reed is now trying to do. Did the creature, this disaster. I've only been a vampire for about 4 days here as well, so you know, I feel like he's jumped to a lot of conclusions. And Reed did the same thing with Doris Fletcher before she became such a creature. I don't know, but those two are clearly working together, and Swansea is helping them. I will immediately give orders to have him arrested and interrogated. As for Reed, I'll destroy that evil bastard, that evil beast myself. And how come he's calling him a bastard, and he doesn't feel the need to swear at me? Like, I'm a beast. That's arguably worse. And then we'll deal with William Marshall and this disaster thing. Prewin will prevail once more. Well, it's a good job I read that after I had to fight you.
About to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Right. Exit stage left. Anything in here worth stealing?
Step away, sir.
Oh.
Die, vermin!
Is not here all your mates getting stabbed upstairs? Honestly, if I heard all my mates getting stabbed upstairs, I would not be fucking around.
It's locked.
Shut up, John. Pinned note. Evidence safe. Until further notice, the safe will be store sensitive evidence. It must always be locked. If you need access, just find me on the last floor to get the key, and bloody remember to bring it back to me when you are done.
I should find the key to that box.
Yes, you should. William Marshall's memoirs. Luckily, McCullum's already done the hard work for me. Let's see what this says. The Brotherhood of the St. Paul's Stole finally agreed to meet me in London. They proposed to meet inside the new Cathedral of St. Paul. I like the wit and solemnity of these men. What a symbol to choose the place where I defeated this disaster, but also the place where I fell. I agreed to the proposition there in the sacred silence of the church, and under the eye of God they respectfully listened to me. They acknowledged my victory against this evil creature, the Dus Astro, the Eater of Stars. That's a good name, innit? I think I'm going to go against Thanos, from the sounds of things, who only wished to spread death and pestilence all around her. Since they acknowledged my will to save London in 1666, they heard my request, my burning desire to stop the blood of hate. Their primate promised to come back to me with an answer. The primate of St. Paul wrote back to me with the just name, the Tear of Angels, or Tear of Angels, according to him. His ancient artifact could heal anything. So yeah, it's probably tear rather than tear. Oh, what they teared? I don't know. It'll cure you though. Sounds like absolute hogwash. Cleanse any blackened soul and purify my blood. Blessed be the Lord. It took me more than 100 years to find a cure for the blood of hate, but I may finally have found it. Soon the rage shall end. Soon I may repair the wrong I did and cleanse my failures. Now all I need to do is retrieve the necessary ingredient to create the artifact. Blood from the purest heart mixed with blood of a king. To find such rare ingredients is... well, I mean, it's not that rare. I mean, it's not going to be that hard to find out where the king is. Worries me the most, for time is on my side. It's the last part that worries me. The pure essence of garlic. It can be a bit strong, can't it? But I know some restaurants. You could probably go to a Bella Italia, order like one of their pizzas, or a Papa John's. I think you'd have half of the ingredients you need right there. I'm afraid it will literally hurt like hell when I drink the antidote, but if that's the price to pay to cleanse my soul and correct my mistakes, I am ready to endure this excruciating pain.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind. It's locked, all right.
I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that key for that safe. Right, let's head upstairs and get the key to that safe.
Give us strength.
Steady, boy! Bloody monster!
I have it. I can now open the box.
Brilliant. This feels like, because I've basically done nothing but steal. absolutely nothing but steel. So this just feels like a natural progression for me to have stole a key. To the people who are watching, I'd just like to say I do appreciate that you're watching. It's always nice to have confirmation that you're not just shouting into the void.
I really don't know if I should read this.
Then it's definitely being read. This is juicy. Right. The cards worry me, for they keep on announcing the coming of an imprecise but terrible danger. Distinct from this awful war, I better call back the legates to London and tell them to observe and report any unusual events. Something is definitely going on. This just sounds like he's paranoid. I don't know what you were that bothered about, Jonathan. The cards keep hiding what is approaching, and that can only mean something powerful is moving, something so strong and potent. It just sounds like you're attracted to them now. The cards cannot fully reveal its nature. All the legates but one are back in London. His mission is in Larza is too crucial to be aborted. The only noticeable event is the frequent meetings between Aloysius Dawson and the Ascalon Club. It's nothing to worry about for now. Well, it is, because I just turned him into a vampire, so... a terrible epidemic is upon us, and I don't like this at all. Our legates have been sent back overseas to protect them from the disease, but also to find any clue about the origin of the plague. I'm not convinced all this natural is in the past. We had many cases of vampire activity linked with sudden epidemic. We must remain vigilant. All over the world, hundreds of thousands dead, broken families, despair, affliction, deeply rooted in our hearts, but they've probably still complaining about it, going, oh, it's conspiracy. Oh, Lloyd George is microchipping us. Shut up. This epidemic is a curse. Reports from every country tell me that this catastrophe has no boundaries, no limits. The good news is that the disease seems to have withdrawn. The bad news is the cards keep on foreseeing a calamity. The cards were right from the beginning. Calamity is upon us. You should have listened to the cards then, shouldn't you? Best sign might be the return of the guard of Prewin. Geoffrey McCullum himself is back in London. He is a dick. He is actively inquiring to recruit members for a new campaign. Whatever I may think of McCullum's method, I must admire he has good nose for danger. We must all stay alert. McCullum did not waste any time. At least 3 of his warhounds have been ordered to survey me. Same old hate, same old methods once again. They will inquire about all my moves, all the acquaintances. Oh my, I thought this was going to be juicy stuff, Jonathan. I know they are convinced I am an morsel plotting against them, against humanity, stupid hunters. I have no time for this. I may have my secrets, but I am not conspiring. I am not conspiring for thereafter. But they are right about something. The cataclysm will not be avoided. Oh, Jesus. At least this is the last bit. For the second time, I am the primate of St. Paul. I fear for this city. Skulls are invading London and the entire country. No, not invading. They are already here. They are among us, released by the flesh of many inflicted. Observers of the Brotherhood tell me that foreign vampires are arriving from all over Europe, delighted to get their share of innocent and suffering flesh. This country, as we all know it, may be on the verge of oblivion. We still do not know what is manoeuvring against us. The cards are still worrying me as... oh, God. The cards have been proven right. I don't know why you're still... as if the real danger was not revealed yet. Oh, I hold my tongue. I am convinced that the Guard of Prevent is about to launch a second Great Hunt. This is the only explanation of the patterns deployed by McCullum. Control the strategic command, most all over the city, creation of new weapons, robbery to quickly finance the expensive undertaking. I know my name will be on the list if they decide to hunt down all identified vampires in England. Who is this? A pre-run attack is imminent. Scouts and patrols are getting even closer every night. I can't even blame them. The situation is critical. Last few weeks even claim the horned vampires may be back. Yes, he is. But their blindness never ceases to just go after the horned one. I don't know why you can't just be like, go after the horned one. Have I not proved I am their ally? Have I not done all I can? My last entry in this journal, may God have mercy on their souls.
I can't believe it.
Right. What, you can't believe it? All that seemed pretty much on point for the rest of what's gone on, Jonathan.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Geoffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? Are you sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms. Blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
I think you know.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
I made a mistake. But what is science if not trial and error? We both know it, Jonathan, we both know it.
What a poor justification for your morbid fascination and thirst for glory.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
I'm gonna let him die.
Yes, Edgar, you're about to die. I won't say it's fair, but I can't say you don't deserve it.
Your words hurt deeply, Jonathan. They come from a friend.
Yeah? You've been a
I
bit of a dick.
helped you, remember?
Yes. I remember.
Oh, I knew we would accomplish great things, you and I.
I thought you were a vampire, till you brandished that cross.
You looked so lost when you opened that door. For a few seconds, I thought you were there to kill me.
I think we were both afraid.
And now, I feel true fear. Is there an afterlife? What will become of me when I'm dead, Dr. Reed?
I really cannot say, Dr. Swansea.
In the end, life betrays us all.
Yes, it does. Oh, naughty man. Right, what do I need to do now? Get me out of this theatre. I'm not cultured enough to be in here for this long.
Don't forget to check every door.
your dog.
Return at a more convenient time. So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
You got one of them!
Just couldn't be bothered. Oh. Where? Where the hell is she?
The bloody crook!
I feel like I better start healing some people. Because critical, well, I'm not exactly a wordsmith, but the last time I checked, that didn't mean good.
I cannot enter.
Again.
with my hunt! What's going on? I don't care! Crush the leech ball!
Is this it? Embarrassing. Should have just gone to the front door. Let's steal everything a lady after this. Oh, disappointing.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan?
I am horny.
What is
Also
it, my
bad
dear?
news. That's not
I'm
bad
afraid
news.
it's bad news, Elizabeth.
Horny.
The
Also
worst,
bad news.
actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
He was mortally wounded. I put an end to his misery.
That is terrible, Jonathan. And yet you did what you must. The poor man.
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skal epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain?
Yeah.
This is the most terrible accusation of all.
Remember
He
that horrible
confessed
woman?
everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
He was stupid.
Edgar's behavior was beyond lunacy. He had neither the discipline, knowledge, nor the proper facilities to conduct blood experiments.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient.
I
Let me guess.
Could have guessed.
It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes.
Yes, that horrible woman.
That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but... do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
Got it.
What? can't be. Oh,
Elizabeth, are you all right?
Well, no, she's
I
not.
have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
Annoying, because he fancies her. That wasn't a very good painting she was doing, really. Right. Right. Gather the ingredients for the antidote. Obtain a drop of William Marshall's blood from Lord Redgrave. Obtain a drop of King Arthur's blood from Geoffrey McCullum. Search for insulin in the old morgue. Right, let's do it. And if they try and give me any sass, I will be annoyed.
It's locked.
Because I feel like they all owe me a favour. I'm going to steal everything from her house. I think these two statues have fell out with each other. Right.
Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Good. Look at that. The car from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Try and save people.
Whose blood could be purer than that of... Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
Shut up.
I will see you later. You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Women die too in this war!
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my medical attention, Charlotte?
I am fine, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Find Redgrave. Oh, he's in here, isn't he?
These leaflets were telling the truth all along. Nobody takes them seriously.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Cheers.
I'll be honest with you. I don't particularly mind that Fergal Bancher is dead, for he always
He
made
was a
me
dick.
feel uneasy.
He was a dick.
Thanks to you, we have a new powerful member, Dr. Reed. I'll be honest with you. Bancher is dead, for he always made me feel uneasy.
Steal everything. Who's this?
The great Doris Fletcher led some sort of skull nest in her theatre. It's just disgusting.
I know, and the play she was going to put on sounded boring. And you don't have to have that like, you don't have to have that, you know, ominous music in just opening a door. Go back in. Now let's find him.
I've heard you were investigating the origin of the epidemic. You would better hurry, Dr. Reed.
Don't you see we're trapped? What if McCullum decides to launch a full-scale attack against the club?
I think you'll be alright, because I have scythed him in the face. Find that grave.
heard the guard of Priwen is about to strike us. We should go where we can.
We all count on you now, Dr. Reed.
Well,
I heard the guard of Priwen has installed a new headquarters somewhere nearby. What are they after, I wonder?
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lance-Bearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
Don't fail my mission. I'll go with that one. Pluck on his heartstrings.
This is more important than the club, you or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lance-Bearer. Craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
Cheers. Is there anything else to ask?
You again? What do you want?
I have a few questions to ask.
You hold in that vial the most sacred blood of all. I can help you no more. We all count on you, Dr. Reed, for tragedy is imminent.
Depressing. Anything else to steal? I don't know why they've not tied it up. I know you're vampires, but not scrubs. Let's go to the next nearest one. Look at that lovely bin to go through.
Listen to me! Kill it! It's dead! I'll send you to hell! Bloody monster! Over there! There's one of them vermin! I'll send you back to the fucking grave! You're mine! Easy does it, boys. Be careful. An end! Take its head! He's dead!
You don't know that. I'm in the dark. How can you possibly know that?
We have to stop it!
All you know is that I like raiding through bins.
Steady, boy! Got one of them here!
Serious.
Die, vermin! Back to the shadow!
Not you. You fucking lost torch.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better now?
Yes. This neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
But you're optimist.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
I will see you later. Are you concerned about the conditions here in London?
Not really. Sick people, men in arms, fighting every night. I already faced all this during the war.
Depressing.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
As a soldier, you're expected to kill the enemy to survive. Guilt is a powerful emotion and could lead to feelings of suffocation and oppression.
My God, you're so wrong. Believe me, I would kill if it happened again. Violence is part of who I am.
Oh, annoying.
Are you concerned about the...
Not really.
Do you want to talk...
No, I really don't.
An irrational...
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
As a soldier, you're
My God, you're...
There we go.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher.
Jonathan,
Try to take care of yourself.
I've not done well.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed of the Pembroke Hospital. May I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed. So it's you who saved my friend Oswald. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you are?
Newton Blight. Oswald and I recently returned from the war.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
Afraid so. In the war, I was always worried about picking up something, getting some infection. Unfortunately, got that fear in London now.
Oh.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any weapon created by man. You are wise to be careful.
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you? That's a good enough reason for me and Oswald to go there.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself. Hello again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening.
Are you concerned?
Of course I am.
What kind of...
I believe people...
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... Well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we were in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
Why do you stay here?
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about it?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
I'm gonna leave you with that.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself. Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
I'm gonna buy shitloads of stuff from this.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
Find insulin in the old morgue.
Shut your mate!
Stealing everything. I remember the first time I came in here and I was like, oh, better not steal everything, and now I'm like, everything is mine.
Be moving on. Get that one! Silly! Kill it! Over there! Burn it!
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
This is the first time I've heard his name. I don't know how you knew it, Jonathan. You've only worked at this hospital for a week. What a dick. What are all these people doing in the basement of a hospital? It's not a fucking clubhouse. Death report. Well, it looks like he's been there a while, because why would you come to the basement of the hospital? Samuel Connor, 39, address unknown, fisherman. I bet he voted for Brexit. Probable cause of death, fast progressing pneumonia, examination.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Oh, well, that's
A
connected,
puncture over the left lung. Possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Oh, you're in trouble. Couldn't just left him with it.
Back to the shadows!
Right, let's hopefully fucking we'll still need some of that, don't we? I was hoping that I'd have these ones. let's get the final piece. Hopefully cure some people, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Let me steal from their corpses.
If McCullum really drank the blood of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital ingredient for my recipe.
Did you hear me? Alive! Back to the shadows!
not a good place for us. Get them weapons ready!
Where is it?
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes, I can. Because you've been doing it for ages now. Annoying. Is he up here? No. Where is it? Where is this little decker? Oh, this is Thingy's grave, isn't it? You'd have thought they'd have covered. Yeah, you'd have thought they'd have covered that up. But no. Is this going to be him? I hope so.
Good evening, vampire hunter.
Are you here to end me, Leech? You'll find I will not be killed easily.
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you... You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save
truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
Might as well just tell him.
I have found the carrier, McCullum. The infection's source. It may be science or some supernatural power that's responsible for all this. But I will harness either or both to end the epidemic.
A vampire doctor. My God, you're a terrifying creature. Jonathan Emmett Reed.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Can we speak more? Let's be friends.
Thank you. Can we speak more?
Indeed. Why not?
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Who was that man?
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Prewin. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
Fucking it. I feel like you probably still need some therapy.
What will the Guard of Priwen do now? Will you stop the Great Hunt?
Yes. But we shall continue to protect innocents from beasts like you and your red-headed friend.
Where is she?
How long have you known Lady Ashbury? Where is she? And what will you do to her?
We saw you meeting her, so of course we investigated. But she is gone. Our scouts reported she has sold some paintings and departed for an unknown destination.
Not that one I saw her doing.
Like me.
I am indebted to you for sparing me at Pembroke. But this won't always be the case. I'm no coward like those St. Paul's Stowe brothers.
Right, goodbye.
Adieu, vampire hunter.
Until we meet again, blood drinker.
Watch yourselves! There's one of them! Die, vermin! Look like... Die, Lee!
Raid the bin.
It's one of them! It's mine! I'll take it! Run! Back to the shadows!
Oh, God. Cheers. See if I can heal some people.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation?
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
How are conditions in Whitechapel at the moment?
I always thought it was my role to reveal what really happens in these forgotten parts of London.
And you're not sure anymore?
Empty coffins, cannibalism, walking dead. I'm trying to report the truth about what's going on, but no one believes it anymore.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth? I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Have you any idea of the danger?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Have you any idea that's... Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
Bye. Bye.
Farewell.
What?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Could this be the scarf you lost, Miss Popper?
It is much more than a scarf to me. It is the only thing that connects me to my family and my country. Thank you so much.
Yes. Give me a free one.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however,
Can't get it up
curious as to
because I am a
what led you
vampire.
into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Well, now I'm interested.
How are the conditions in Whitechapel these days?
When I think about all the people who died trying to reach England, it seems we escaped a war just to die on foreign shores, hated by all.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Listen up, Tories.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
What about your clients? She won't care.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Not anything new in there? No.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Can I
Good evening,
cure her again?
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
No.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
Your money is the only thing I need right now, Doctor.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Don't you fear getting sick yourself?
Faith gives me all I need, my son. If I must fall, then so be it.
No doubt your faith will prevail, but let me give you some extra protection against the devil's work. Medicine.
Blessed be your generosity, my son.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
Don't you hear the trumpets? The apocalypse is upon us, Dr. Reed. The final battle.
Tell me about you mad bastard.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I'm listening.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the
Jonathan
decimating
thinks he's a bit
epidemic.
weird as well, doesn't he?
But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
What's your plan?
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
How exactly will you cleanse this?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Yeah, well, all the houses were wood back then.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I've heard enough.
I have heard enough. Goodbye. Good evening, Mr.
It's Father Whittaker.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible
I feel like
No.
you are talking
But
nonsense.
I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
A sick burn, Jonathan.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
You again? What do you want this time?
Can I offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
Keep your medicines for others.
There is a thin line between pride and stupidity, sir. Please, take this medication. You'll feel better.
All right. I'll take it then. It's not like I don't appreciate the gesture.
How is the sanitary situation in Whitechapel?
I'm not easily scared, but crazy killers and armed patrols are lurking about. My son's right about this place.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Dreadful hat.
It's locked, all right. Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
Thank you. Not making me piss around. If there's anything I can steal.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor? It must be my lucky day.
Yes, because I'm trying to get an achievement.
How is the sanitary situation in Whitechapel?
We hold on, despite the epidemic. Armed patrols have been seen in the vicinity for a few nights, but they stayed away from the dispensary.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
No. Alright, who is she really?
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Wow. That is,
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough. And clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
that is, I feel like that
So
is
Dorothy's real
going a bit
name
far.
is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
How did you meet Nurse Crane?
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
How is Nurse Crane these days?
I don't know what you told her or what kind of deal you made, but Dorothea seems less anxious recently. Thank you for that, Dr. Reed.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
It's
a free country again.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Just
Who
mentioned them.
knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
God, you were depressing.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Steal your money. And that. Right, so I don't need to do that again.
Why is Mr. Delaney collecting old newspaper articles about bombings?
Probably a hoarder.
These men, they're a company of professional vampire hunters.
This is a lot of updates that I should have read at the time. Boy, do I feel bad at this game.
Welcome back, Dr. Reed.
Good evening, nurse. How should I address you? Dorothy? Dorothea? Miss Crane?
Dorothy is all right. If you don't mind me calling you Jonathan.
That's fine with me. Show me what you have in stock, please.
I don't know how much money I've got. Definitely want that.
It's locked.
I'm hoping it's gonna let me fucking do it in here. No, fuck you, Jonathan. I need to save the city. Can I use your desk? No.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you... Good evening, my dear colleague.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I have no doubt it will. But I'm not against a second opinion, Dr. Reed.
Well, there you have it. Take this remedy, but be discreet. It may damage your business otherwise.
Thank you.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Oh, that. She was giving it to me at like a discount, weren't she? There's that guy who was raiding the bins. He's round here somewhere, isn't he? Oh, that's not him. If it is, I am a bad doctor.
Vampires are so weak!
I cannot enter. Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
No.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself, as best.
What's the point in this? There's like one little house you can go in. Right, I can get to the hospital. Turns out maps are useful. Brilliant. Need more opium. That's what we've learned there. I'm gonna sort this out. Following night. Obviously not that bothered, is he? There you go, that's the reason. Whitechapel police have been informed of a disappearance of Edgar Swansea. Well, he didn't disappear, did he? Approximately 6:30 this morning, police have circulated a Missing man. I know what he looks like. Fair complexion, green hair, thin moustache. That's always a sign that they're a bit of a wrong'un. Dr. Swansea is a familiar figure in the Whitechapel district, current head of the Pembroke Hospital, well, not anymore, spearheaded mass admissions of patients. Yep, that's because he had ulterior motives, though his methods have been criticised, so they should. It should be noted that Dr. Swansea did save a substantial number of individuals during the outbreak. His guidance drove the Pembroke to technical heights, especially due to his enlistment of Jonathan Reed. See, Jonathan's mum would be like, oh, you got a shout out in the papers, who had recently returned as a vampire. The famous surgeon was nowhere to be found to answer our questions. Lack of a head surgeon has led to a drastic drop in operation success. I would advise against entrusting yourself until Dr. Swansea has found our new head. Antidote craft.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
Right, come on. Let's...
It's locked.
Let's sort some people out in here. Going on in here? Anything I can steal? I thought I'd made the antidote. These vampires make like stereotypical like English noises even when they're being killed. What's going on here?
This This is my territory!
Give me all this stuff. I wanted to raid the bin.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets.
You said that. There he is. That's who I was looking for before.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Shut up.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Have conditions improved in Whitechapel?
I'm ready for whatever's coming.
Goodbye, young man. Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
You don't seem well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
I can try to help your body heal, sir. But you must stop destroying it.
The war destroyed me, Doctor.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
Not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
How are conditions?
I hear gunshot.
A gun, alcohol. How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
What happened?
Hey, I didn't...
All right. Perhaps...
Sod off, mister.
It's true.
I said...
Goodbye, young man.
Catch you in a bit, mate.
I cannot enter.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith.
Good evening,
again.
Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr.
You don't seem well, Benjamin.
No, thank you. You're...
A gun, alcohol.
As long as you have the money.
I'm gonna buy some more opium.
Welcome back, Jonathan. Do you need anything?
Yes.
Show me what you have in stock, please.
Yeah. Yes.
As long as you have the money.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Do you need help, sir?
To be honest, I'd prefer you take a look at my stuff. I'd rather be rich and sick than the contrary.
I don't quite agree, but I won't argue with you. Please, take this. You'll feel better.
Really? Free? Don't take it personally, but charity usually comes at a price. Human nature being what it is.
Well, let's hope that you
Right
get me
then.
stuff for
Show me
cheap.
what you have.
Need a week.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops.
Try to bite me head.
Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
I'm going.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Oh,
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never... Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
What a dick. I'm going to try and go towards that one that's further away. I'm not getting anywhere.
Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another. You again?
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barry even called the bastard my best friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Never taken up my father's business. Fancy buying something?
You never lose your folk. Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
True that.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
You again?
Goodbye.
Wish I could just fucking... Hopefully I'll get there now. Once again, turns out maps are useful for getting round. This is a learning channel. More opium, which is good.
But they will not be forgotten. Dr. Reed, still conducting your nocturnal survey?
Do you need medical attention, Inspector?
I'm afraid I may have caught something. I don't feel too well.
You'll quickly feel better after taking this.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I really appreciate it.
Have you recent news of Aloysius Dawson?
Dead.
I heard he intends to build some sort of wall to protect the West End.
Oh no, he's undead.
Giant open-air prison. I quite like the idea.
Is it true you were dropped in rank? Tell me about it.
Yes, it is.
Really turns him on, that.
I made a terrible mistake. I deserved it. Sometimes I think I should have resigned.
So why are you still working here?
Because I'm a damn fine copper. I just don't want to have someone innocent hung again by mistake because of me.
The death penalty is not an efficient deterrent. I sometimes think it pushes criminals to more violence, since they know they have nothing to lose.
I agree. I'm convinced all civilized nations should abolish the death penalty. Maybe after the war, once that bloodshed is over, the survivors will change that.
Why do you think there shouldn't be a death penalty?
I believe no one should decide to take a man's life. Not a nation or a government.
Are you a pacifist, Inspector?
No, sir. But I believe in divine justice. Only God has the right to decide who will live and who must die.
What are you investigating, exactly?
Mr. Kimura has been murdered. Always the same injuries. Wounds to the neck and massive blood loss.
Ooh,
I'll stick to my homicidal maniac theory.
Tasty.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye. Too many murders to investigate them all. But they will not be forgotten.
Good evening, Mr. Baker.
Why do I always have feelings of deja vu when I talk to you?
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
I'm afraid I do. I knew we should have left London.
I don't want to appear tactless, but you're risking your health by remaining outside at this hour of night.
Says the doctor who also works outside at night. But as always, the imprudent person enjoys the company of their fellows.
Oh, shut up.
Have you any reason?
The wall he is planning to build around the West End worries me. How could we leave this city if we're trapped inside?
Very true. Have a chat with Trump.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
Indeed. I've never been good at explaining my feelings, but I can tell when my body is hurting me.
You have nothing to be worried about. You should recover by taking this.
Sounds so easy to fight disease. Too bad it's not the same making people smile again.
Goodbye for... Goodbye.
Are you from Ascalon? I don't care!
Dick. Down there. Tell you what, they definitely got the weather right on this game. Grim. Right, how should we make England look? We make it look nice. Nah. I haven't been. Weren't that a ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal? Sort out that old woman who was an absolute knob. In fact, I've done this for 3 hours, longest one I've done. Have my statistics shown this? No. Let's end it there. Cheers for everyone who came and watched.